Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff Sinker bringing you another great Iron Maiden song. This lesson we are going to be looking at Moonchild from the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son album. Try saying that with your teeth not in properly. Great album. To me it is their best album. Lots of albums out there by them, but this really, when it came out, that was it. It was just great. So I'm going to be doing this opening track from the album, going to be covering all the different sections, and at the end we're also going to be looking at the guitar solos in there. So let's get straight into it. Opening section, it is played on an acoustic guitar. I know when he plays it live, Dave Murray doubles up with an acoustic guitar on stage, but just for this section I'm just going to be using a kind of a clean sound on this. So we start off with an E minor to a D, A minor to a C, to an E minor. E minor again, D, A minor, C, to a D. And then we have got that synthesizer section. When they play it live, Adrian Smith, he plays that on the guitar. So what I'm going to do is going to show you what he does on that. So let me just change the sound and we'll be right back. So what are we doing there? So we start off on the 7th fret on the A string, moving across to 9 on the D, and then to 7 on the D string, and we do that twice. Then I move across to 7 on the G string, and then going back to 9 on the D to 7 on the D, and we do that twice again. So far. Then we've got this little section where I'm playing 7 on the D, I do 2 on the 9 on the D, and then back to 7. So the slow tempo. Now it does sound good if you put the mute on it as well. Kind of gets that more percussive sound that you get and really lets that kind of delay coming out. So that's the synthesizer section that continually plays through this opening section. Let's go back and let's have a look what Dave Murray's doing on the guitar. So the synth is playing, but what we get is this volume swell starting off, which is on an E chord. So he's hit the chord. 2, 4, so we just got an E, volume swell, 2, 3, 4. He's playing that twice. Then we go into this section. So I'm just going to play it through and then I'll break it down. So what am I playing there? We're just going to start off with an E5, which is up on 7th fret on the A string, so 7-5, so an E5. Then we just move up onto the A string and we play a B5. Then we move down 2 frets onto the A string, so we're playing a D chord, go into an A chord directly above it. Okay. And then we play back to the B5, to a G5, to an A5, so we go in 7, 3, 5, open E string. Then we repeat. And that whole section gets repeated again. Then we're going to have 2 bars as the build up to the main riff or the main verse. And all we're playing there is just E chords. Now you can play it up here on the 7th and just utilise the open E string. Or you can play it down here. So we got 2 bars of that, just playing them E chords. And then it gets into the more rocking version, a little bit up tempo. We'll be using the chugs. So I'm going to just play it through, and again I'll break it down. Okay, what we're doing there. The chords that we're playing against is an E5, and then we're going to move our little finger up. So I'm here on 7 and 9. Move that little finger up to 10th fret on the D string. Then we're going to move down to a D5, so I'm back on 5 and 7. Back up to E5. Now the chugs, we have got chord 4, play the chord again, then we do 2, we just play that. That's your main rhythm that you're playing through. And that plays through numerous times through the verse. And then we go into this next section where we're playing like an arpeggio across some open strings, across the same chord. So we're going to play this E5. So what I'm going to do, I'll just play it through, explain it, just play it. So I'm just going to play it. So I'm just playing an E5 chord. I'm doing 7 and 9, 7 on the A, 9 on the D, and then I'm playing open E string and open B string. I'm letting them ring out. Then I move that little finger up so it's playing on 10th fret, and I'm still back here on 7 on the A. Then I move down to the D5, then back up. And repeat. Then we got this C twice. So I'm going C. And then we're into the chorus line, the Moonchild line. So I'll just play it through and then I'll break it down. So let me show you what we're playing there. Start off with an open E, to open B, to 3 on the B, to 2 on the G, and then we got this kind of bluesy riff. Playing those 2 on the G, I do a full tone bend, pull it back down, pull off, and then finish up on the 2 on the D. Is your line. Then we go back and repeat that opening section. And then we got this. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the first initial bend. And then we do the pull off. Back to the 2G. And we do 2 open, D, 2 open. And then repeat. And then we go into the next section, which I will play through and then I'll break it down for you. Then we go into the next section, so let me just play it through and then I'll break it down. So let me do the next section, I'll play it through and then we'll break it down. So, what are we doing there? Well, we're starting off on a B5 chord. So I'm playing 2 on the A, and then 4 on the D and 4 on the G, and I'm just playing through. And then I'm going to move first finger up to 3 on the A, and I'm going to play 4 and then 5. So 4 on the D and 5 on the G. Then I move my bar back down, so I'm using this bar here. So I'm playing 2 on the A, I'm playing 4 on the D, and then I'm using the bar to play 2 on the G. And then I just drop my little finger back down and I'm back on that B5. I start all over again on the B5. Move up. So I'm doing that 3, 4, 5, that diagonal. And then I play an A5, so I'm doing open A, then 2 on the D and 2 on the G. And then back to the B5. Next section, again I will play it through and then I'll break it down. Okay, what are we doing now? Well, it's B5. So what are we doing now? Well, we start off with a B5. So what are we doing now? Well, we start off with a B5, so we're playing. Then we move that first finger, so you move your little finger up from the B5, so we're playing 2 and 5. Then we go and do a double stop, which is 2 and 2 on the A and the D. And then back to the B5. In between that, we've got the chokes, so we do this. And from there, we're into the guitar solo. And what we'll do, we'll cover the guitar solos at the end of this part of the lesson on the main song. So once we've come out of the 2 guitar solos, we go back into this section. Plays that through, then we go back to that. And from there, we then go back to this section. Plays that through. And from that section, we go back to this. And repeats that all over again. And then we go back to this series of E chords, where we just play that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, And then we just got a series of just chugging on the open E string, but the synthesizer line comes back in to the end of the song. So we just get this to the out. And he just finishes on an E5, which I'm playing up here on the 7 and 9. So we've covered all of the sections of the song, apart from the solos, which we are going to look at next. So let's have a listen to the first line of the solo. So what are we doing there? Well, we start off on 12th fret on the G string. We do a full tone bend, going down to 9. So we got this bend up, release, and then down to 9th fret on the G. Then we've got this line, which is just going across. So I'm playing 10, 9, 7. And then I do 9, 7, 5, finishing on the 4, all on the G string. Then we got this nice little run up a minor, E minor scale. Now, this a little bit of a challenge on this one because of the picking pattern. You're having to keep crossing the strings on this because you're playing in the interval. So what I'm starting off on there, I do 5 to 3 on the E, cross over to 2 on the A, back to 5 on the E, to 3 on the A, to 2 on the A, 5 on the A, 3 on the A, cross over to 2 on the D, to 5 on the A, to 3 on the D, to 2 on the D, to 7 on the D, to 3 on the D. Now we got to do the shift change. I'm going to do 7 on the D to 5 on the D. Then I do 4 on the G, back to 7 on the D, and then I've got 4, 5, 7 on the G. Let's look at riff number 2. So we start on 20th fret with a full tone bend, releasing and then going to 17 on the B. Then we're going to do 18 to 17 to 15, back to 17 on the B, back to 15, to 17 on the G, to 16. Then we've got this run, which is very similar to the one that we played down here. We're starting up on 19th fret, and we're going to go 19 on D to 17, crossing over to 16 on the G, to 17 on the D, to 17, to 16 on the G, to 19 on the G, to 17, and we're going to move up to 21, to 19. So far we've got. Then we're going to 18 to 21, as we've got 18 on the B, to 21 on the G, to 20, to 18, to 22 on the B, to 20. Then we cross over to 19 on the high E, to 22 on the B string, to 20 on the high E, to 19, then up to 22 on the high E, back to 20 on the E, 19, back to 20, and then we do a full tone bend on 22 on the high E. So let's play through riff number 3. So what are we doing there? Well, we got our first finger on 12th fret on the high E string, and we got our third finger on the 15th fret on the B string. We're going to bend up as we hit the strings. We're going to bend up the 15th fret a whole tone, so it's pitching out the same as we're holding. Then we move down to the B string across 12 and 14, and we're doing the same thing. We'll be bending 14 up to 16 on the G. Then we move down a whole tone and do the same thing. Then we take that shape, so there we're playing 11 and 13 with that bend up to 15. Then we move down to 8 on the B and 10 on the G, and we do the same thing with that full tone bend. Then we're going to play 9 on the G, 2 of them. We go back and we repeat the same thing that we've just done. We've got this. Then back down to here. And this time, then we say playing 2 on the 9, we're going to hit a harmonic on 5 on the G. Bend it all the way down. Go back and we repeat the same process of that. Then we back to. Back again, repeat. And this time we're going to go to 10 on the high E. Now we're up to Dave Murray's solo, which is a tapping solo. So I'm going to play that through, and again we will break it down. Okay, all the taps are on the 12th fret, and we're just going to tap. So he's just doing that 8 times. So we got 8 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we move down. So we're doing 9, 10 first of all, moving down to 7, 9, then to 5, 7, and then to 4, 5. 8 taps in between each one. Let's look at the next riff. I'll play it through and then I'll break it down. We're doing that. It's all on the B string. We're doing two hits on every single note. So we're doing 12, 13, 15, back, 12, 13, 15. Then we do 13, 15, 17, up to 15, 17, 18. Then we do 17, 18, 20, full tone bend. And then to finish it off, we go back to a line that we just played earlier. So we got that, which I've looked at earlier and showed you, which was the end, sorry, it was a bit through the second riff, which is just this 17 to 18, back to 17, on to 15, all on the B string, and then we go back to 17 to 15, crossing over to 17 on the G, and then to 16. And then it goes back into the parts that we've covered before. And it repeats that to the outro. Well, that's all of the sections covered to the song Moonchild. I have included the tablature, and you'll be able to find that in the link below. Take you to my website, be able to download that all free of charge. If you did enjoy the lesson, don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you'd like to get more of these lessons coming through, click on that subscribe button. That way, whenever I post new lessons, which is normally once a week now, you'll be notified by YouTube. Well, I'm going to let you go so you can start to learn this song. There's quite a few bits to go through, some good exercises there to improve your playing technique. But until the next time, this is Jeff Sinker from ScoutGuitarLessonsOnline.com, wishing you well, and I do look forward to seeing you all again soon. Until then, goodbye.